So, end of day one, Agency Insight Tour. It was a long but I think exciting day. We started off in Portland with Memic and John Leonard. Good morning, everyone. It's Steve Hauk with the Agency Insight Tour. We're kicking off our Agent Insight Tour with John Leonard, the CEO of Memic and chairman of the Accord organization. And I first off want to thank John for supporting this and speaking with us this morning. First off, could you tell us a little bit about, from an Accord organization perspective, how is the gap between agents and carriers in terms of data?
Well, there is a gap, Steve, and it's narrowing. That's the good news. But if you go back over the last decade or two and take a look at the progress the carriers have made in trying to facilitate a smoother working relationship between the company and the agency, we have made significant progress. But yet, there's a lot more that needs to be done, and that's one of the missions of Accord right now, close that gap.
Do you think Augie is a great organization for new entrants to get involved and further participate with the Accord standard?
Well, I'm a big supporter of Augie, so obviously the answer is yes. It's a great way for somebody to become very familiar with the standard setting process, the benefits of implementation, and all of the work that's being done not only by the carriers but also at the good hands of the staff at Accord. But it's not the only entry point. We have some implementation programs that have been designed over the past few years that have been well received. We have a major forum that we run every year. It'll be down in Fort Lauderdale in sometime during the month of November. And that draws hundreds of people that are involved in the implementation and certainly the installation of the Accord standard.
Can you tell me some of the benefits that Memic has received from making a commitment to the standards?
Well, I can use two words that sum it up: cost and time. Two precious commodities at any company of any size. And by using the Accord standard, we really have streamlined the operation in terms of our ability to work with vendors, to work with agents, and to work with other people in the distribution channel. No need for us to create code, test code, destroy code.
Right.
We don't need to do any of that. We just work off the Accord standard. And the reality of it is our business partners have to have that same commitment. We will not do business with people who do not have access to the Accord standard and use it as part of their operating philosophy.
Great, great. Accord in general, how is the organization? Is it growing?
Well, the reality of it is, Steve, over the past decade, we've witnessed a lot of industry consolidation. And if it wasn't for that consolidation, the budget at Accord right now would be double what it is. Despite that, though, Accord has expanded dramatically over the past 10 years. I mean, look at the work we're doing now in Europe. Look at the London operation, just significant. China, Australia.
Yeah.
So we're going very, very global. That brings a lot of new players into the game. But in real sense, if you go back over the past 10 years and you look at it just from a budgetary process, Accord has now tripled what it was at the end of 1998.
Agency Insight Tour. What do you think about it, and what do you think will be the greatest takeaway we'll attain from it for our business and our customers, insurance companies?
Well, Steve, first of all, could you be here on a better day? I mean, let's face it, sun's shining, it's Portland, Maine, it's Patriots Day, it's a wonderful day in New England, it's a holiday for many parts of New England, and here we are talking about something that I think is terribly exciting. You know, I mentioned to you earlier, going out, meeting with the agents as you will, finding out what the problems are, that's the backbone for your ability to create solutions. If you don't know what the problems are, you'll never know how to go about the creation of a solution. So congratulations.
Thank you very much, John. My last thing I want to ask you, what do you think of agents' requirement to rekey and just keystrokes in general?
You want me to show you? Steve, why don't you ask me that question again?
At Agency Port, we're committing a war on keystrokes. What is MEMIC doing?
We're going to join that war. You want me to show you how? Here we go.
The employees came and participated as much as they did, and you had Don Hale out there, Gary Baxter. That was great. Then we went up to the agency in Falmouth.
If we could get a quick quote, a quick idea of where the premium is, then we wouldn't be wasting their time looking at the final submission, nor our time putting it in.
Right.
So if we could just put in a few, forget the majority of the underwriting questions. You know, is it eligible, and what would the rate be?
Right.
And just to give us an indication of whether we should continue or not.
Speed, as you said, is important, but accuracy is just as important.
Okay.
And follow through and follow up from those initial contacts are critical for us. Ideally, we're here to serve the client, and if the client is looking for a policy in a certain timeline or an endorsement, that's critical to us managing that client well and meeting their expectations.
We're now sitting in Exeter, New Hampshire.
So my goal recently has been to get to the carriers and say, if Progressive can do it and Geico can actually make it so easy that a consumer can buy online and service their policies online, why can't the carriers at least make it so an insurance agent who knows something about insurance, knows something about computers, can actually service that customer on the carrier's website? Or through a piece of middleware like what you guys would offer. And so far I did one with one carrier. I had to go back into my managed system 4 times to correct the data before I could finally send it through to them.
And is the experience just an error, or is it well explained what's missing?
Yeah, it was like, all right, what's missing? One thing, I go back and do it again.
Right.
Broken again, go back and fix it, do it again. Broken again, go back, fix it. By the time I was done, I had spent almost 20 minutes before I finally got it to the carrier website to rate. I mean, I always talk about eating your own garbage. Most carriers can't eat their own garbage. I mean, I can't take their download, turn around and upload it through Transact Now and actually get a rate. I'm a firm believer of that Sensi product will never come.
We think it's big for us.